This is the Mercedes-Benz C-Class W206. I've got good news and bad news. Good news first, it's better than the W205. And bad news? Keep watching to find out. This episode is brought to you by Carvago. Be smart. Choose your car online with Carvago. How is the W206 better than the W205? Where do I start? For me, peak C-Class was the W204, and I never learned to appreciate the next generation. It was never particularly good to drive, it was never special, perhaps with the exception of the price, which was always especially hefty. But my biggest issue with the W205 was its unfortunate timing. It came before the W177 A-Class and therefore it never had the modern looks or the MBUX interface. After the facelift, designers tried to breathe some life into it, but it still looked dated. The W206 debuts right after the new S-Class and the EQS flagships. The new C-Class not only looks like a scaled-down version of the S-Class, but it also gets a lot of tech and switchgear from the Big Daddy. Looking for a car for family, fun or work? The best place for you is Carvago.com. Carvago is a modern platform with vetted cars from all over Europe. You can buy a car from the comfort of your home and Carvago will deliver it to your doorstep. Carvago.com features more than 700,000 cars from vetted dealers across Europe. You select a car on Carvago. Carvago sends out its experts and presents you the Car Audit, a full report on the actual condition of the car. Car Audit keeps track of 270 technical points, includes photos, as well as the final evaluation by a Carvago certified technician. Next, you simply select financing and delivery options, you sign a deal with Carvago, and Carvago buys the vetted car for you. You have 14 days after delivery to test the car and return it without giving a reason. The price also includes a 6-month warranty. So, what's your car from Carvago going to be like? Before I show you the cockpit, let's look inside the boot. Its volume is still 455 liters. There are shopping bag hooks and buttons to release the rear seats. There's a net to keep stuff neat and organized, and even some space under the floor, and a folding basket, which I really appreciate, even though you can get one for €10 from your local supermarket. What I appreciate less is the step you get with the seats folded, but if you want to carry more stuff, you just have to buy the estate version. Since the new C-Class is bigger than the W205 in every dimension except for the height, with the boot capacity unchanged, there is more space in the passenger compartment, especially in the back. The backrest splits 40-20-40, there are large door pockets, cup holders in the armrest, there is also a huge tunnel running through the middle, but legroom is better than in the previous generation. This is a weird configuration with premium Burmeister audio system, but without third zone climate control or USB ports in the back. But if you want custom, this is custom. The important stuff happens in the front. The previous Gen C-Class still had these tunnel gauges. After the facelift, they packed a digital display in the driver's binnacle, and also there was like a huge screen here on top of the dashboard, and it all looked out of place. Now, we can't run from digital displays, but they can be better incorporated and have a better interface. As far as I'm concerned, Mercedes has the best interface currently on the market. The graphics are simple and easy to read. You control the driver's display with touch controls here on the left side of the steering wheel, and on the right side are the controls for the central display, but we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm not a fan of piano black, especially on the steering wheel, because the touch elements collect greasy fingerprints. The older version of the steering wheel was, in my opinion, more pleasing to the eye, but for some reason Mercedes decided it knows better. Well, basically touch is cheaper than physical buttons. In the S-Class, the map on the driver's display can be 3D, which may look cool or give you nausea. The C-Class doesn't have a 3D display, but you can also see full screen map as well as trip computer info or driver assist features. There are also 3 display modes: Classic, Minimalist and Sport. As standard, the C-Class will get a 10.25-inch driver display and a 9.5-inch central display, but it seems for now all cars have the 12.3-inch driver display and the 11.9-inch central display. The rep spec will probably arrive later. In the new S-Class, which I reviewed a couple of months ago, the fingerprint reader didn't work in certain markets pending a software update. Here, it works. I can download my settings from the cloud to various cars I pair with the Mercedes Me app. That's very convenient, also if more than one person drives a single car, and all it takes is a fingerprint to load the relevant settings. Having this large display means gone is the touchpad on the central tunnel. You can still control the display from the steering wheel. Even AC settings are now on the display, but they're always in plain sight. And if you cannot find some settings, you can ask MBUX to display them or change them. Hey Mercedes.
How can I help?
Change the ambient lighting color to green.
Okay, I'm changing the color.
Under the display is a place for your phone and whatever crap you like to drop next to the cup holders. Storage under the armrest is not great. There are a total of 3 USB-C ports around here. The glove box is decent size and so are the door pockets. For now, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class engine lineup includes 4-cylinder diesel and petrol motors. 3 of the petrols have 1.5-liter displacement, while everything else, including the diesels, is 2-liter. Power ranges from 163 in 200D to 313 horsepower in 300E. Yes, you can get a PHEV with more than 25 kWh batteries and a claimed electric range of around 100 kilometers and fast DC charging as well. All other engines are mild hybrids, meaning there is a slight electric boost beside the engine turbocharging. All engines are mated to a 9-speed G-tronic automatic transmission. This test car is a C220D, which means a 2-liter 200 horsepower diesel with 440 Nm of torque. Claimed fuel economy should be around 5 liters per 100 kilometers, and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time should be 7.3 seconds. My fuel consumption was around 7 liters combined, but 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time is achievable in sport mode. The fraction of a second I lost could have been due to wet tarmac. The good news is how the new C-Class drives. It's more engaging than the previous gen, but it's nowhere as fun as the BMW 3 Series. It's more of an Audi A4 competitor. But the W205 was just meh. W206 is relatively comfortable, but it doesn't make you want to fall asleep. You can also order optional rear-wheel steering that will make the car more agile and better in tight maneuvers. The rear-wheel steering tightens the turning circle by 42 centimeters to 10 meters and 64 centimeters. The soundproofing is okay, and so is visibility. The suspension could be a bit softer, but I assume it depends on the wheels and the trim package. Here we have the AMG line that seems to be all the rage in Poland. Speaking of equipment and packages, this car gets sat-nav with augmented reality, which means as you approach a turn, you see the real-time camera view of the street with virtual arrows directing you. However, there is no semi-autonomous driving on this particular test car. I don't know whether it's due to the chip shortage or attempts to keep the price at an acceptable level. But in this class, I'm surprised not to see driver aids, which Mercedes is very good at. I'm also surprised the fuel economy is nothing to write home about, and in the default comfort mode you really have to match the gear and the revs to get more than just noise out of the 200 horsepower diesel. Also at higher speeds I feel there is some electronics pushing me back. Is this an Autobahn cruiser or a city bus? Prices of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class start at €42,000 for the C180 limousine. The base diesel is €4,000 more expensive, and the estate starts at €44,000. This test car is a C220D limousine. With options, it costs about €60,000. The new Mercedes-Benz C-Class has a more interesting design than its predecessor. It has better tech and more space inside. It is better to drive as well. However, I get the impressions the engineers couldn't decide whether they were going after Audi or BMW, so this is what they came up with. And that's the bad news. And how do you like the new Mercedes-Benz C-Class? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.